Well, I went down to the hardware store to see my old friend Bob. I said my roof it leaks, my rug's a mess, and my front door needs a new knob. I got squirrels in my attic, I got bats in my head. Well, Bob just leaned over the counter and he shook his head and said, you need home repairs and solutions. Home repairs and solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house, they'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home repairs and solutions.
And welcome to the Home Repairs and Solutions Show, brought to you by Spring Mountain Air, your authorized Amana dealer. The host of Home Repairs and Solutions is Mary Pearson and Mark Withard. Now, here's Mary and Mark.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today, Mr. Mark?
I'm good.
Good. We're always good on Fridays.
Always.
We're always good. We're just better on Fridays.
We're better. Always good, better on Fridays. That's right.
Beautiful weather, gorgeous day, great weekend. I'm glad it warmed back up a little bit.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, I think, tomorrow pretty warm. But
great swimming weather today.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Yeah, and there's, the way this year's going, we're not going to have a whole lot more of those good swimming days. I mean, there's going to be a few, but they're going to be fewer and fewer. Won't be long till the leaves will be changing and all that kind of stuff.
I know.
But
that's okay too.
Oh yeah,
that's okay too. For a while we lived down in Houston, and I'm really unusual, I think, because I loved Houston. Most people are like, oh my gosh, but I loved it down there, except for the fact you don't have a change of seasons, and I miss that.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like Christmas when it's 80 degrees outside.
I can kind of understand that. Yeah.
So we lived there 4 years, and then we left for several different reasons, but. I did miss that. If the first year was great, I thought, great, no snow, no this, no that. Well, after about the third year, it's like, oh, wow. It doesn't change much.
Yeah.
It gets a little boring.
Yeah. When Gene and I were out in Colorado a few weeks ago, the weather, we get up of the morning and, it's like 40 degrees out there.
Little frost on the ground.
Yeah. And so, by the time we get around, get the bikes, ready to go and stuff, it'd be warming up into the 60s, and temperatures were mid 70s, but it really made you feel like, it was fall out there, or, and it was just a really neat feeling. But one of my most favorite places in the world that I always say I could live is Key West, Florida. I love Key West.
Key West is fun.
But, I think I'd have to have a home in Key West and one in Colorado.
There you go.
Because, it just go kind of back and forth. That give you a little bit of both of the best worlds right there.
That's true. Well, I'd like to have a home where you have mountains, you have the ocean, you have a lake, and you have like the change of seasons. So it's pretty all the time, and you have a view no matter what.
Yeah.
And there's lots to do when you have all that stuff.
I
don't know where that is.
I don't either.
Might be somewhere. I don't know. I haven't been there yet.
If you find it, why, let me know.
Okay. I'll share it with everybody if I find it. How's that sound?
That would be great.
Then it would get crowded.
Well, that's true.
Maybe I won't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody. You can just tell me. I won't tell no one.
Just tell you.
Yeah, that's right. We'll run away.
I think Gary will be the home repairs and solutions expert.
That's right. Well, after what Gary said about me a while ago, I'm just, I'm a little aggravated at Gary, and talking about being in here with all these beautiful women, and then he says, "Oh, well, then there's Mark," So, thanks, buddy.
Well, sometimes the truth is hard to take.
That's true.
In lots of different occasions.
That's right.
But today we have lots of really good information. We try to have good information every Friday, but today we have a kind of a special show today, and we have our guests are Margene and Jeannie. And Margene is with the Breast Cancer Foundation of the Ozarks. That's one of our favorite charities.
Absolutely.
Spring Mountain Air donates to them every year, and we're very grateful that we're able to do that for them. They provide a wonderful service, and Jeannie graciously accepted to come on the show and be with us, and she is actually a breast cancer survivor and has used some of the services available from the Breast Cancer Foundation in the Ozarks. So she can actually talk a little bit about that as someone who was a recipient of some of the services that they can provide to help folks out in those situations. So welcome, ladies. It's great to have you with us today.
Well, thanks for having us with you. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Before we get started, this is a live show and people can call in and
That's
ask
right,
questions.
they can.
So I'm thinking we might have some questions today. So we might want to give out some phone numbers.
That's right, we might. If you're local here, 862-9977, 1-800-375-0056, or we are high-tech enough that you can send us a text at 417-838-3192, and we'll read the question on there. If you're shy and you don't want to talk or something, that's a good way to get your question in.
Absolutely.
So,
you can still ask us a question and you don't even have to talk to us.
Don't have to talk to us.
Yeah, we like for you to talk to us, but if you don't want to, that's okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, we might want to start out, Margene, if you could tell our listeners a little bit about what the Breast Cancer Foundation of the Ozarks does. I'll get my tongue straightened out here in a minute. And, there might be some folks who haven't heard about you guys or really don't know what you do for people here locally.
Sure. We provide short-term financial assistance for families who are going through treatment for breast cancer. And what that looks like is we do that in the form of helping with house payments, utility payments, auto insurance, things of that nature to kind of plug that gap when a woman can't work during treatment time or surgery time. We also have a free mammogram program. And so for folks that are uninsured or underinsured, if you know anyone like that, please have them contact our office at 862-3838. We have a children's fund program, which helps the children in the homes of families that are going through treatment. We help with maybe back to school items, Christmas presents, things of that nature, so that the kids don't feel as much of the financial impact in their daily lives. We have mentoring programs and things of that nature so that people can come together and share their stories and seek some comfort and support.
See, I think that's great. I think that you do a wonderful service for our community and for people in our community. And, breast cancer is something that if it hasn't affected you, it probably will at some point, whether it's you personally or someone in your family.
Right.
I personally have several people in my family that have gone through that. One in particular that's had a really difficult time with it. Mm-hmm. So I think the level of difficulty probably varies per person. But something that I want our listeners to know for sure is that this money that you provide goes directly to them.
Right. And we couldn't do what we do without all of the fine folks that donate to the cause. We raise money through events and private donations, and we just couldn't do it without the support of the community. And we have such giving people in our community. So that's how the money comes in, and the money goes straight back out to these families. And we're helping our neighbors, our friends, our sisters, our aunts and grandmothers, and helping people in our own neighborhoods.
Now, there's a pretty large portion of that money that you bring in that actually does go back. You guys operate on a very, very slim margin.
Right. It's over 80% goes back out into the community.
And my understanding is, and from what some of the research I've done on different charities, that is a very high percentage.
It is a very high percentage. We are all very dedicated to the cause and to the mission, and we operate that way.
And you also have a lot of volunteers.
We do.
That help you do different things.
And we couldn't do what we do without all of the volunteers. We have probably over 65 events a year, and all of those need to be staffed with people, so we couldn't do it without the volunteers. And people like Jeannie that have gone through, that BCFO has helped through her time. A lot of these women will come back, and they will be our best supporters and our best volunteers, and they give back. And that's just an extraordinary thing.
I would agree with you. I think that is whenever you are able to overcome something like breast cancer and be a survivor, and then you are able to go back in and help other people who might be dealing with the same situation that you just went through yourself. That has got to be, I would think, a very positive thing for you as well, Jeannie, to be able to come back and help people who are going through what you survived.
It is very positive. I was very fortunate to find out about the Breast Cancer Foundation of the Ozarks through a friend. I had no idea this organization was out there until they told me about it. And, I was scared to death whenever I went to them.
Sure.
But, they were there just helping me get through it, getting through, with the moral support and financially they helped us out. You know, the entire family goes through it. So they were just a godsend.
That's true, and I would think especially if it's a younger woman, and more younger women are dealing with this situation, and that a lot of times there are smaller children in the home, and that does have a big impact on the kids as well. You know, they're worried about mom, what's going to happen, all kinds of issues that kids have to deal with as well. And the fact that you do have a children's fund and that you do look at the needs of the children, not just the person going through the treatment, I think is pretty amazing.
Right, right, it is. And you know, Mary, last year we helped 181 new families. This year, as of August 30th, we have helped 159 families. So
Wow.
this will be even bigger than last year. And in those homes last year, in the 181 families, we had over 57 children. So it does impact. It isn't a disease that affects older women. It is a disease that affects any woman, and it affects women that have children in the home, and that just makes it difficult on the family when budgets are already limited. You know, due to raising children. Just raising kids and raising a family is expensive business, and so it really impacts the children. It rocks their worlds, and we try to help out with that a little bit. And, well, like one of the things in the Children's Fund is if your child is already in guitar lessons or, you know, some type of sport, we'll help continue that so that they don't feel that financial impact in their daily life and what they do and what they love and things that will help them to get through this diagnosis.
We have a caller.
Yes, we do. Let's talk to Sharon down in Stone County. Go ahead, Sharon.
Hi. One, I want to applaud this organization for doing this.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon.
I have a friend who, she carries the cancer gene, and for the last 25 years, she has fought various forms of cancer, and she did have a double mastectomy. And she has recovered from every incident. And the reason I'm calling is to just offer encouragement to women, men, children who are going through this. It is not the end of the world. It is survivable. Be of good faith, be of good heart, and be strong. It can be survived, and you can come out on the other side a whole person.
That's right. That's right, Sharon. And I am so thankful for you sharing the story about your friend. And you know, it is a scary time, and there's a lot of women that go through it. And people like Jeannie, I just marvel at her. I really do. She's taken her whole experience and everything that she's been through, and she's using it for good to help other people. And there's not one thing that she hasn't done with grace and dignity. And I really admire her. And any woman that goes through this, it is a scary time, and all of us supporting them and great friends like you, you know, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and it is a bump in the road, and we get through it and we keep pressing on because that's what we do.
Thank you very much for all of your work.
You are welcome. Thank you.
And that's one of the ways that you can help people in the community. You know, if you find out that you have a friend or you hear of someone that's talking about someone in their family is going through this, remember the Breast Cancer Foundation of the Ozarks and say something to that person about this organization. You know, if you're not dealing with this, it might not be that you're aware of this. You know, if you're not dealing with breast cancer, you wouldn't really search out this organization. But just kind of keep that in mind. That's one of the things we like to do is get information out to listeners so that maybe it's not something that they need personally, but maybe they can pass it on to someone else that they can get assistance or help with. So now one of the things you mentioned, Jeannie, I thought was interesting, and I would feel the same way, is, you know, you're diagnosed with breast cancer. That's got to be just a shock in itself and scary and all kinds of other things I can't imagine. But then to go to someone, and you have to be kind of vulnerable a little bit. You have to go to them and say, look, this is where I'm at and I need some help and can you help me? Can you kind of tell us how that worked for you?
Yeah, I was, at first I was a little embarrassed, which I shouldn't have been.
Absolutely not.
Just thinking, gosh, I need help. But, they welcome you with open arms and do everything they can to help you figure out what your financial situation is and where they can help you best. They can't pay medical bills, but, they help you with, so many different other things to help you through that time. So it's just a great organization that everyone needs to know about, because I would say 90% of people know somebody that's gone through breast cancer.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. The numbers are staggering. They're so high.
Yeah.
It's when I found out how many, is it 1 in 8? Or
It's 1 in 8.
1 in 8.
In their lifetime.
In their
will
lifetime.
develop breast cancer.
That's a lot. I mean, you look around at all your friends and see how many female friends you have, and then you start thinking 1 in 8. It'll surprise you.
Right.
How
That's
many of your
crazy.
friends it's probably going to affect at some point.
Right.
And it's kind of scary, just even as being a friend, because I might be the one that's affected. So you just never know.
No, you never do know. Breast cancer does not run in my family. So whenever I found the tumor, I thought, oh, it's not breast cancer because it doesn't run in my family. Well, it doesn't go that way.
Not always. That's true.
No.
Not always.
And
So-
that, you know what, and I think that's a really good point to make, because a lot of people, their response will be, I don't have to worry about that because it doesn't run in my family. You know what? Cancer's not picky.
No, it's not.
And it isn't just going to go for, there's a lot of people that have a family member that has breast cancer that never developed breast cancer. So, it's not picky like that. And it doesn't mean that we let down our guard any as far as being diligent about our self-exams and our seeing our primary care physician and having that check and having our mammograms. I mean, those are our 3 defenses that we need to stay diligent about, whether you have breast cancer in your family or not.
Well, and early detection is very important.
It is. It
The
is the whole
earlier,
key.
the earlier that you can detect it, the better your odds are of beating it.
Right.
I've heard even some nightmare stories, like, some people don't realize they have it, and it's already stage 4. Stage
Right.
4, it's very serious at that point.
Yeah.
So, if you can get it early and start taking treatment or whatever it is that your doctors recommend for you to do, then, you're just that much farther ahead of the game.
Right. I was stage 3.
Oh, really? Wow. Wow.
So,
The point you made is, cancer doesn't discriminate. It can happen to anybody. It's just, the same situation like with me on the heart disease. Heart disease didn't run in my family. And so I was shocked. I mean, that's the last thing I ever thought I would be going through. Same way with cancer, with breast cancer. I mean, you just don't think about it, but we need to. We really all need to think about, what's going on in our body and what can happen to us, even though there's no history or anything. And something else is, I know we got a lot of, guys listening out there. It can hit men too. It's pretty rare, but it can happen.
And it does. And, last year we had an event. We have an event every year called Pink in the Park, and it is in the summer. And last year we had the first pitch is a breast cancer survivor. And last year our survivor that threw out the first pitch was a male. And unfortunately his wife had passed away from breast cancer. So, it isn't picky about if it's a male or a female or how old you are or whether you've had a history in your family at some point or not.
Yeah.
Or how rich or poor or anything.
No.
Right.
It doesn't care about any of that stuff.
No.
And it's so neat though that you guys are out there helping, because things are so different nowadays than what they used to be. Both the husband and wife both have to work nowadays. I mean, very seldom do we see just stay-at-home moms, so to speak, that don't have to work, and it puts such a burden on the family. Besides the medical bills that you have to deal with, it's just the everyday life. The kids
Right.
kids and ball and all this and that you have to tend with, and it's just that financial burden that you guys help with to take
Right.
some off the families. It's just unbelievable.
Right, and we don't, we pay for, we look at each case on an individual basis,
Right.
and we have a whole team of wonderful people that volunteer to go over those cases on a monthly
Right.
basis. And they look at how long a woman will be in treatment, and they look at what their overall financial situation is, and come up with a plan for how long we can help them and where we can be the most effective
Sure.
for the most effective time period for that particular patient. And so that is that each case is individual to, we might do something different for Jeannie than we would do for somebody else, and so looking at that whole picture, when the woman's not working, where can we be the most effective, and where can we plug that hole in the financial gap that they may have, so we can kind of bridge them over. And it isn't a financial assistance for medical bills, but it frees up the money so that they have money to make their co-payments and
Right.
pay for their prescription medications.
Yeah, that's great.
I was privileged to sit in on one of those meetings that you're talking about, and I was very impressed at the way everything was handled. The professionals that are on that board that volunteer their time to do this, and the way that you do look at everyone as individual. You don't put everyone in the same box,
Right.
Because not everyone's needs are the same. Sometimes with different organizations or something that, okay, they have X amount of dollars and, you get this and that's it or whatever. But I sat in on that meeting and I was just amazed at how well you guys handled each individual case and how you were really just really looking into handling their specific needs.
Right.
So I thought that was just amazing. I think I ran us past the break.
We do need to take a little break. This is Home Repairs and Solutions. We'll be back right after this. Now, if you've got a problem and you don't know what to do, your siding's going bad and you're plagued with green mildew. Well, your faucets, they all drip and your sinks are all clogged up too. Well, there's no need to worry. I'll tell you what you can do. Just call Home Repairs and Solutions. Home Repairs and Solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house. They'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home Repairs and Solutions.
Here's news on the Ozarks News Network. A 15-year prison sentence is facing a man from Bolivar for molesting a 5-year-old family member. 38-year-old David Hamilton was found guilty in July. The incident happened in May of last year. He'll serve without the possibility of parole and then be on lifetime supervision. The heavy rains early last month have touched off a plague of mosquitoes across the Ozarks. The Taney County Health Department has issued a report warning of diseases carried by mosquitoes and ticks. Areas of standing water provide a good breeding ground for the bugs. And Springfield police are continuing their investigation into a bomb threat at Central High School. A note found in a restroom at the school threatened to blow it up. Officials say they're trying to keep things as normal as possible as the investigation continues. For the Ozarks News Network, I'm Arlen Summers.
Everybody can use extra storage space at their home or business, and Cedar Ridge Portable Buildings has been providing that extra space to its customers since 1971. Cedar Ridge is locally owned and operated and has its own factory in Springfield. If you need some extra space for the lawnmower, bicycles, or garden tools, get it straight from the factory at Cedar Ridge. Choose your size, style, and colors and have it delivered or built on site. Cedar Ridge gives you choices. Rent to own and 0% financing available.
Cedar Ridge, Cedar Ridge. I get a portable building from Cedar Ridge.
Hey, have you heard about the Big Deal store?
No, what's the big deal?
Big Deals is a place where you can shop and buy gift certificates to local businesses at a discount. If you need entertainment, try Big Deals. Farm and garden supply, Big Deals. Want to get the family out to eat? Definitely Big Deals. How about lingerie or a taekwondo class for your kids?
I got it. Big deals.
Right. Go to newstalk560.com and click on Big Deals. Gift certificates to local businesses at 50% off retail. Hurry, the savings start now.
Have you ever attended an event at Remington's? That's the big building on James River Freeway around the junction of Kansas Expressway there. They're doing some great events out there, and General Manager Jeff Steele will be with us this week to tell us about them. That's this Thursday at 10 a.m. on the W Factor. KWTO 560 AM.
Today will be mostly sunny with a high 89, then a clear night, low 66. Hot and humid for tomorrow and Sunday. Plenty of sunshine with a high tomorrow of 91 and a high Sunday of 93. Then mostly sunny and hot for Monday and Tuesday. High Monday 93 and a high Tuesday of 91. More sun than clouds Wednesday, high 90. I'm AccuWeather's Kevin Snyder.
Currently 76 degrees.
Well, I went down to the hardware store to see my old friend Bob. I said my roof it leaks, my rug's a mess, and my front door needs a new knob. I got squirrels in my attic, I got bats in my head. Well, Bob just leaned over the counter and he shook his head and said, "You need home repairs and solutions. Home repairs and solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house, they'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home repairs and solutions."
Well, welcome back to Home Repairs and Solutions. If you have a home repair question, or if you want to speak to the topic of the day, then call 862-9977 or out of the area 1-800-375-0056. And now here's Mary and Mark.
Or if you want to send us a text, you can do it at 417-838-3192.
There you go.
Yep.
Easy peasy.
Absolutely. We make it easy, painless.
We try to.
Yep,
we do our best.
We do.
If you've just tuned in, we are talking with the Breast Cancer Foundation of the Ozarks today. We have Margene with us. She works at the foundation. And then we also have Jeannie with us, and Jeannie is a breast cancer survivor. And so to start the second half of the show, we're going to let Jeannie tell our listeners a little bit about her personal story and kind of what she went through when she found out she had breast cancer.
Okay, well, gosh, I have to put my memory cap on. Going through chemo, it does zap your memory a little bit. They refer to it as chemo brain.
Chemo brain?
Chemo brain, yeah. But I was 43 whenever I was diagnosed. It was Labor Day weekend, actually, 2010. And had to wait over the long weekend to get my results. So that was a nail-biting time. But once I was diagnosed, they diagnosed me at stage 3. They started chemo treatments that month. And since the tumor was at stage 3, they wanted to reduce the size of the tumor before they operated and took the tumor out. So I went through a series of chemo treatments from September 2010 until February of 2011, and then I worked as much as I could, and where I couldn't, of course, the Breast Cancer Foundation of the Ozarks, they helped us out, and let's see, I ended up having a double mastectomy in March. And, took the tumor out. I had one lymph node that was cancerous. So the doctor wanted to go back in and take out more lymph nodes just to make sure. Had a total of 12 lymph nodes taken out. And, I still have scars, of course, and kind of numb in my armpits. But, that's better than the alternative.
Certainly, yes.
I just try to keep the most positive attitude through the whole situation that I could. I had the great support of my family, my friends, and of course the Breast Cancer Foundation of the Ozarks. My kids at the time were 17 and, let's see, I have to think back, 17 and 13.
Oh,
so
wow.
They were still in school, and the teachers would call me and ask if everything was okay, and that's whenever I told them that, this is what's going on, so they may struggle just a little bit, because it affected them. It hit them hard, too.
Oh, certainly at that age, they know what's going on.
Oh, yeah. And, we were upfront and honest with them and just kept them informed as much as possible, without scaring them.
Sure.
Because they were already scared.
Oh, sure.
But, had family and friends bring dinner over whenever I wasn't up to cooking, and it was the best experience that I could have going through such a trying time.
Well, you look great.
Thank you.
I mean, you look great, and congratulations on being a survivor. And
Thank
I think
you.
you touched on the positive attitude. I think a positive attitude will help you through a lot of issues. And I know that the Breast Cancer Foundation helps with that. They try to keep you up and keep you going.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's very, very important when you are going through something that is difficult like that. Looks like we have a caller on the line.
Yes, we do. We have Shirley in Lawrence County. Go ahead, Shirley.
I want to say that Jeannie is my daughter-in-law, and she is my hero.
Hi, Shirley.
Hi, Shirley.
She has been so strong throughout all this, and she has taken a negative in her life and made a positive out of it. I'm so proud of her.
Shirley, you're going to make us cry.
It's about to make me cry. But I love you, Jeannie. You're a good mama.
Well, thank
You're
you.
a good wife and a good daughter-in-law.
Oh, thank you. I love you, too. You are making me cry.
Well, thanks for calling in, Shirley. Absolutely. Thanks for calling in, and thanks for listening.
Shirley.
Bye-bye.
One of the things that, well, that was unexpected. See,
Yeah,
you
it
never know.
was.
Live radio, it'll get you on it.
Yeah.
One of the things that we haven't touched too much on right now that we probably need to go into is how people can help. Now, I know that Jeannie, since she has been a survivor and she's a survivor, that she donates a lot of time and stuff to the Breast Cancer Foundation. October is a Breast Cancer Awareness Month, correct?
That's correct.
And you have a lot of stuff coming up where people can get involved. Like you said, most of the funds that you have coming in are from donations or fundraiser type activities. So I would like to take a little bit of time and touch on those so people will know what's going on, how they can get involved, what kind of activities they can participate in, that type of thing.
Sure. We have so many great events that happen in October, and we are always in need of volunteers and always so happy and grateful to have people come out and support us and see what we're about. Our phone number is 862-3838, and our website is bcfo.org. And if you go out to our website and click on events and go to the calendar, you can see all of the events that we have going on in the month of October. But just to hit on a couple of them, today Ashley Furniture is having a promotion for us in Springfield and in Joplin. If you make a $20 donation, Ashley Furniture will match the $20 and give you 20% off of any purchase.
Wow.
So
wow.
Yeah, so if you need some furniture, run out today and get some. And don't ask your husband, just go. And
Say, honey, I donated today, and look what we got.
Yeah. That's right. Buy now, explain later.
There you go.
That's my, yes. And on Saturday, September 28th, we have the Tanker Outlet 5K Walk Run. And that is a big event. That's a lot of fun. And you can find out more information at our website, or you could go to tankeroutlet.com and find out times. And there's registration. There's a registration fee. There's a discount for pre-registration. You can find out all the information that you need, or you can call our office as well. October 1st kicks off our Panera Pink Ribbon Bagel. And 100% of the proceeds on October 1st from the Pink Ribbon Bagel go to BCFO. And for the rest of the month, there's a percentage of the proceeds will go to BCFO.
And Panera has really good bagels.
They do. And those Pink Ribbon Bagels, they are dangerous. They are dangerously good. So I encourage you all to go out.
So get a dozen.
That's right. And the day of, a lot of people, and this is great, since 100% of the proceeds go to BCFO, Go get bagels for your office.
Exactly.
And take them in. So, and you can pre-order those by calling Panera
Which is
as
probably
well.
a good idea.
Yes.
To
yes.
pre-order if you're going to do that.
It is. On Friday, October 4th, we have our one of our largest fundraisers called Hooked on Dance. There are still sponsorships available. If you would care to get information on that, you can go to the website or feel free to call me at 862-3838. On October 4th and 5th, 4th through the 6th, in the Osho, we have Barnyard Days, which is just a fun outdoors, vendors, fun food to eat, all kinds of neat things going on, and you can find out more about that event as well. Saturday, October 12th is the Sunshine Run, and that's also a really great event and a lot of fun. It is, you can go to the Mercy website at mercy.net/sunshine run, or active.com. You can do your registration there. And I think we talked about this a lot of times when we have such great people like Jeannie. They give back, and one of the events that Jeannie and I are working on, that this will be our 3rd year for, is called Cruising for Cleavage, and it's a motorcycle.
That's what Mark likes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark's got the big thumbs up.
He
over
likes
there.
that one.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite.
It is a motorcycle car ride. It's a poker run. And this year we are starting at Don and Son Cycles out on West Chestnut, and we are ending at Cartoons. We have a great band called Funhouse. They play current music and U2 and things like that. And we have lots of great sponsors and stops. Where we're going to be stopping at Honda of the Ozarks this year, and Marshfield Chevrolet, and Ozark Harley Davidson in Lebanon. Pitbull runs racing, so we've got a lot of great things going on.
It's gonna be fun. Yeah.
It is going to be a lot of fun. And one thing this year that is really neat is our friends over at Pitbull have donated a Spider. It's a Can-Am. And they have, Rapaholic has wrapped this in BCFO and Pitbull, all kinds of logos in pink and gray, and it is beautiful. It is very exciting. And we're going to have an eBay auction for that.
Oh, wow.
And the winner of that will be announced at Cartoons that evening of Cruising for Cleavage. We do have, you can go out to, we have our own Facebook page for the Spider, and it's BCFO Can-Am. And you can go out and see some pictures of how it's all sort of developing and coming out and being wrapped, and it's very, very neat. It'll be just great. You'll have to go see it over at Pitbull and follow it on that page, because it will be taken to different locations for people to see. So we're very excited about that. Come join us for Cruising for Cleavage. I know Mark has.
Yeah, I've rode in the first 2. And so I'm looking forward to number 3, and I'm telling all my biker friends and bluegrass friends and everything who rides bikes. And I know Gene's out there listening today, and so we'll all be there.
Yeah,
great. Because it's fun. And what's really funny is I still wear my T-shirts, all the time. And I was out the other day, and the lady seen that. She's like, "Oh, I know who that is. That's such a great organization. Did you ride in that?" We were talking about it. So people are aware of it, and they're becoming more and more.
Right.
And so it's a hoot. It's really fun.
Yeah, and it's, we have a great committee. We have a lot of fun on our committee, and everybody's dedicated to this ride, and the word has really gotten out, and we're really looking forward to it this year. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's October 19th.
Right. Right.
And can you pre-register for all of these events now?
Right, you can, and you can go out to the BCFO website and get a registration form on Cruising for Cleavage, or a lot of the other events. Now, on the Mercy event, you get your registration from active.com, or you can go out to the Mercy website, and the same for Tanger. But all the information and how to go about getting the registration is available on our website.
Now, on the Cruising for Cleavage, because that seems to be such a fun one. Jeannie, do you and your husband ride in that one as well?
Yes, we do.
There you go, listeners. You can come out there, register, take your bikes, and you can meet Jeannie and Rick.
Yeah.
Rick, is that correct?
Rick.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so then you get to put a face with a voice.
Yeah.
That's always fun.
Yeah, it is.
And are you going to be on this one too? You're going to be on this one too, Margie.
I'll be. Yeah. I'll
you
be
guys have so
working the
much going
events.
on that they have you guys splattered everywhere. I've known Margene and Crystal for 3 years now, and I will tell you folks, when it comes to putting all this stuff together, these women work many, many, many long hours, and are very dedicated to raising money to help out the families here locally. And I just think you guys are amazing. I don't know how you keep going sometimes, because you have so much going on, and not just in Springfield, but some of the surrounding areas as well. And you have to staff those, and you have to be available, and it's just an incredible organization, and the amount of effort and work you put into it is just phenomenal.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate that. Our best friends are coffee and Red Bull.
I'll bet that's right, because I don't know when you ladies sleep during the month of October, that's for sure. Now, you do have something going on in Joplin, is that correct, this weekend, or what are you doing in Joplin?
Right, it's Swinging for Pink. It is a golf tournament and dinner. And so that's down in Joplin this weekend. So, there's a lot going on. There's always a lot going on. And there's many other events going on in October. You can kind of see my list here. Of
You
the
have a
pages
long list
of all of the different things that are going on. So, we've got another event that's really kind of, if you haven't seen it, it is just, I've heard it's just really cool to go see. I want to make sure to get this one on my calendar this year. It's Pink the Rink. And it's over at the MediaCom Ice Park. And they make the rink pink.
Cool. The actual ice is pink?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
how cool.
So that is Friday and Saturday, October 18th and 19th. So we'll have to go on the 18th, Jeannie.
Yeah. I can't ice skate, but I'll give it a try.
I was getting ready to say, do you ice skate too?
No.
But like you said, you can always give it a try.
Give it
You
a
never
try.
know.
It would be fun just to go.
It would be fun. I don't know that I need the ice skates because I don't think I'll be using them.
You're going to be too busy doing other things.
I'll be falling, so I won't need the ice skates.
Oh, my goodness. Well, there are lots of ways to get involved with this foundation, and one of them is by volunteering your time, like we've been talking about. But I would imagine you would just take cash donations as well.
We do, and that is a way. Sometimes people have more funds than they do time. And sometimes people have more time than they do funds, and so we are just so grateful for everyone's help, no matter what form it comes in.
So if someone, because you have all these activities, I would imagine you're signing up volunteers now, and you're probably trying to get your people together.
We are.
If someone wants to volunteer, if they have a particular project in mind, or if maybe you're in one of these outlying areas and they want to volunteer, how do they go about doing that so that they can be available for you guys when you get ready to do these projects?
All they would need to do is they could call our office at 862-3838 and sign up with Lacey or Lindsay in our office for whatever event. If there's one event that they think they might be more interested in than something else, then they can request that. They can go out to the events calendar on our website and just see what the different events are, and call and visit with Lacey or Lindsay, and we can get them hooked up with something.
There you go.
Yep.
Lots of ways to help and get involved.
Absolutely. And there's no better organization.
Well, and
this
this time of year, this time of year, all these outside activities, it's great to be outside this time of year.
Oh, yes, it is.
So enjoy the outside and, do something that, will help someone else. And, it might come back to you someday. You never know.
That's
never
right.
know.
Right? You never know when
Absolutely.
you might need the help. So, and you just meet some really neat people. I mean, some really fun people. It's just exciting to get out there and meet different people. And at some of these events that I've participated in, different things, you'll be surprised who you meet. There's people there, and you learn things that maybe you wouldn't have known before.
Yep.
It's
right.
kind of interesting. I'm just so amazed that you, Jeannie, you are just so open about your journey and what happened to you, because I think that's hard to do. I think it's hard to open up and be so honest and out there with everybody. I just think it's something that, a lot of times health issues and things, people are kind of tend to hold that in, and they're more private. And like you said, you're kind of like embarrassed or whatever, which you shouldn't be at all.
Right.
But it's sometimes people want to, I don't want anyone to know that I have that or this is happening to me. Well, if no one knows how to help you.
Right. Well, I went into it knowing nothing, and I figure if I can tell my story, I might be able to help, at least one person.
Sure.
And,
absolutely.
I figure telling my story will open up, someone's eyes to what can happen.
Right.
And maybe it makes it more comfortable for them to contact the BCFO. Like you said, getting that diagnosis, first of all, is scary enough in itself. And then to try and reach out to strangers and ask for help, that's just another daunting task sometimes. But with the BCFO, it's not daunting at all. They are very, very kind. I know a lot of the women down there. I've been in their office several times. A very warm, friendly atmosphere. The staff, they are very, very helpful, non-judgmental. It doesn't matter, where you're struggling financially. They will find a way to help you get through that.
Absolutely.
So I would think, that in itself has got to kind of give you some peace of mind. Takes away a worry. You have enough worries as it is without worrying about the financial side as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It was a great peace of mind.
And for the children, I love the fact that you have a children's fund.
Right.
That I think that surprised me more than anything when I started finding out what all you guys did, that you had a children's fund, and I thought, wow, they're encompassing the whole family.
Right.
Which I think is great.
Well, we try on the Children's Fund, and that all of the monies that fund that come from all the great hearts out in our communities, and it enables us to be able to reach out to the families. And one of the things that we do try every year, and we've been blessed to be able to do because of the donations, is to be able to send families that have been going through breast cancer treatment that year some additional assistance at Christmas time so that they can purchase things for their children. I mean, I know that's what we want to do for our kids at Christmas, whether we're sick or not. We want to be able to provide our kids a Christmas. And so the monies that are donated for the Children's Fund are used exactly for that purpose and mean the world to parents.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And, there are a lot of places, there are a lot of charities. And there are actually several in this town. The more I kind of get into what's available and what's out there, there are lots of places where you can donate time and money. If you haven't thought about doing that, kind of think of what maybe hits your heart and go find where you might be able to assist.
Right.
This is a very giving community. I feel like we're very fortunate to live in this part of the world. Mm-hmm. We do help our neighbors. We do reach out to people in need. It happens all the time. The MS bike ride is coming up this Saturday. We have a client that does that every year, and so Spring Mountain Air donates to that. So there's lots of different things.
Yeah.
If you have something in particular that you have an interest in, or maybe that has hit you hard personally, you can probably find an organization or an area somewhere where you could either get some assistance that you might need, or donate either time or money and help someone else that's having the same issues that maybe you went through.
Right.
So I would just encourage our listeners to do that. Like I said, I just think this is an amazing place to live. I wouldn't want to raise my children anyplace else.
That's right.
So I just want to thank you again for being on the show. I love you guys. I love to have you on. It's been a while since we've been able to get with you because you guys are so busy.
I know. Well, you know what? We appreciate you and Mark and letting us have this time to come out and talk about BCFO and all the good that we do in our community. And we couldn't do it without people like you, Mary, and without you, Mark. So
well, thank you.
Mark, put your Kleenex down now.
And Jeannie, thank you so much. You have just been a huge asset to the show, and I can't thank you enough for being here and just being so willing to share your story. That's just amazing to me. So
thank you.
And it's wonderful to meet you. Now I feel like I have a new friend.
Awesome.
So good. Why don't you give out your information one more time before we have to go off the air here?
All right. The phone number is 862-3838, and the website is bcfo.org.
What's going on with you? Don't you have something coming on the TV pretty soon?
Our TV show starts Sunday night, 6:30, Channel 27, right here in Springfield. Going to be playing over at SMS at the big Ozark Celebration Festival Saturday about 1 o'clock.
This Saturday?
This Saturday, 1 o'clock. Big free show over there tonight with Rhonda Vincent and the Rage. So everybody come out to MSU and have a great weekend. So
you too.
All righty.
Thanks
this
again.
You're welcome. Thank you, girls.
Thank you.
This is Home Repairs and Solutions. We're heard every Friday morning from 10 to 11 right here on AM 560 KWTO.
Home Repairs and Solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house. They'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home Repairs and Solutions.